The year is 2025.
OpTic Gaming will go back to back.
OpTic Gaming just secured their second tournament win of the year. But let's rewind to where OpTic couldn't get out of second. See, last season, OpTic was stuck in a rut. Second place again and again and again. After 3 straight losses to Space Station Gaming, it was clear something had to change. Ormal, a veteran in the scene, knew that if he wanted to compete again, truly compete, he needed more than talent.
I mean, I think a lot of it has to do with what team I get for Halo next year. I'm only going to play Halo again if I feel that I have a team that's going to win every single event.
And he had his eyes on 2 rising stars who had already begun dominating the scene. 2 rising stars that were responsible for almost all the second places he received last year. And a duo with raw aggression, synergy, and the attitude of the legendary Ogre Twins. Meet Bound and Legend, the fire at the core of today's OpTic Gaming. Their streak started long before joining OpTic, and it dates back to 2024. Legend left Quadrant to join SSG, making him EU's first ever player to be recruited to NA. Bound had just replaced Renegade, an all-time great. They both had immense pressure on their shoulders, but both players started rising through the ranks fast. Bound, a faceless phenom from Halo 5, and Legend, a European slayer with incredible objective play. Their speed, mechanics, and clutch factor made them dominant in matchmaking, and soon in tournament play. At HCS Arlington, their worlds collided. Bound and Legend played side by side on SSG and took home a historic win against OpTic. It was Legend's first championship, and the first time a European had ever won an HCS title. But that was just the beginning, and the team would fall back during HCS London, coming in 4th place. But during HCS Atlanta, Legend and Bound would come out on top and get their second win together. This win would be the start to their great journey, and the duo stayed together, lived together, and trained together. In fact, Legend moved in with Bound for all of 2024.
Fortunately, Bound offered me to live with him and his family, and they have been very nice to me, so the transition has been really, really easy.
At the next major, HCS Salt Lake City, they ran it back. After falling to OpTic in quarters, they stormed through the losers bracket, but with a close call from Cloud9. And if they lost this series, this would put SSG at a top 12 placement. But C9 was no match for them, with Bound somehow staying alive bottom mid.
Risks that they take. Bound continues to jiggle peak. Manny's gonna try and capitalize on the damage bottom middle.
Doesn't quite get the nade though.
This play would send Cloud9 home, and SSG would climb their way back up to OpTic and beat them, resetting the bracket and doing it again. This would be the first ever losers bracket round 1 tournament win in Infinite's history. Bound and Legend weren't just hot.
Okay, who is scripting this? Who is scripting this?
They were relentless. By the time Halo Worlds came around, SSG hadn't dropped a single series during Worlds. And once again, it was OpTic versus SSG in the finals. With Bound's Super Saiyan hair and Legend's lightning-fast movement, SSG closed out the season with yet another win, and Legend was named MVP of the 2024 HCS season.
Thank you.
Hey, there we go. There's the trophy lift. Is there anything that you want to say in French to any of your French fans that might be watching?
Merci à tous les fans français de m'avoir supporté pendant ces 3 années. Et je vais continuer de vous rendre fier.
I loved it. I don't know what you said, but I know it was wonderful.
3 tournaments, 3 wins, 1 unstoppable duo. With Bound and Legend on a heater, Formal was the opposite. This was the breaking point. 5 second place finishes, 5 heartbreaks. He needed a new team, or he was done.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm only really going to play Halo if I have a team that I think can win every event. I'm not going to go with, a team that I don't have full confidence in that should be getting first every event. So we'll see.
He knew who he needed, Bound and Legend. He built a new OpTic roster with Bound, Legend, and Renegade, who doesn't need an introduction. Their first test for the team was at HCS Arlington. With OpTic being one of the biggest orgs in gaming, they were under pressure from online losing to Shopify, which made predictions almost be completely in Shopify's favor, making OpTic the underdogs. OpTic was off to a rough start in pool play, a loss to Nemesis, then a brutal Game 5 against Shopify, with Legend accidentally nading his teammate.
Next kill will win. Renegade takes damage. Renegade will fall.
This play would alter the course for OpTic, taking them and Shopify to a Game 5 and being defeated yet again. Bound and Legend were in the losers bracket early, unexpectedly. With how well they played last year, things were looking shaky, but with Bound's speed and composure and Legend's clutch objective play, they fought back. They tore through the bracket, even getting their revenge on Nemesis, the surprisingly good EU roster that beat them in pool play. OpTic took down Shopify in the rematch, but a close call for sure. With OpTic resetting the bracket, all they needed to do was keep their composure as a team and remain dominant on the map. But with Shopify being a menacing team, the two would meet at a last stand Game 7. But the words from Legend echoed through the team.
Dude, Sabri's tip for this, he literally, all he said was, we're just being tested, bro. That's literally all he said, straight face. Didn't say anything else.
That's like, the coldest I've ever.
Know that, and I literally oh my god.
And so a battle would rage on between the two teams, but with the strength of Legend's words, OpTic, Formal, and the Green Wall would finally secure their first win in ages. This win would be Bound and Legend's 4th win in a row. The Arlington aftermath was chaos. Every org wanted a new team that could match OpTic's heat. It put the whole league on notice and instilled seeds of doubt in teams that thought OpTic was less resilient than they proved themselves to be. Then came DreamHack, a shocking start. OpTic lost to TSM and Shopify. Deja vu all over, with OpTic having to make a losers bracket run yet again. Bound and Legend, they've been here before, once on SSG and once now on OpTic with this very team. Down 10 points to SSG on Solitude, the team and this duo was looking grim, but with Legend being one-shot reverse 5ing Stellar, this is where tides would turn. With Bound taking on 2 players at once and the whole team capitalizing on spawns, this would be the turning point for OpTic. This Game 5 mattered the most as it could eliminate one of the two teams, but down 19-29, they broke SSG and sent them home for top 8. Staying in the fight for Sunday, OpTic didn't just win, they dominated. With the duo beating every team who stood in their way, the total map count was 14-1, meaning they 3-0'd their rivals Shopify and TSM, then going on to later beat FaZe and only lose one singular game. Another championship, another chapter in Bound and Legend's streak, with 5 total tournament wins in a row. But here's the twist. This duo is not the first to do it. See, back in Halo 2 Anniversary, a team by the name of Evil Geniuses, featuring an iconic duo, Roy and Lunchbox, now OpTic's coach, won 5 straight events, and they kept their streak going into the early days of Halo 5. At ETS X Games, they would take the victory against CLG and earn a gold medal for their efforts. Now, 10 years later, Bound and Legend are chasing that same legacy, and they are doing it in a new era. If they keep playing at this level, shutting down every new roster thrown their way, Bound and Legend may go down as the greatest duo in modern Halo history. And so now is the perfect time to ask them questions myself. Why do you think you two mesh so well together?
I'd say we mesh as well as we do just because the way we go about the game, I feel like we want to play the game both very, very similar. I feel like I always kind of noticed that playing against the guy. Like the way he plays the game was very similar to how I wanted to. I feel like we're kind of like yin and yang a little bit. Like we kind of like built him over how much we've played together. But just the general idea of how we wanted to play the game off the rip was just very similar. So it was very easy to be like cohesive.
I would say because we both fast. We have the same vision of how we want to play the game. I feel like we have a natural teamwork, you know? I feel like we don't even have to talk to each other to know what we have to do on the moment. And I feel like that's a really strong point.
Who's the faster player between the two of you?
I like this question. I feel like it was regarding like whatever situation is in the moment. I feel like sometimes like I'm quick to like try to go out and make a play. And then Sabri's also like quick to just go out and like either like raft the map or like play an OBJ. Like I think he's the fastest OBJ player like in Halo history, to be honest. It honestly depends on the scenario and kind of like how we like both play the game in some scenarios too. But I don't know, it honestly just depends on the scenario. I'd say we're tied.
I would say Bound because like myself, for example, I can like slow down, you know, like sit in a corner. I've never seen Bound do that. Like, that guy is always moving, always doing something, always looking for blood. I'm fast, but that guy is on another level of like fast.
What was the feeling like when you won the event from losers 3 times, once with SSG and 2 back-to-back with OpTic?
So yeah, the first time we did it, it was pretty surreal just because it had never been done. And you know, being in that moment when we were in losers round 1 at Salt Lake City, it's like, we lost. Like there's no way we can win this. Like the first time we did it, I was like, wow, that was pretty special. But like now that we've done it 3 times, thinking about the fact that we're on a 5-peat and 3 of them have been from losers bracket round 1, at least for me, and when I think about it, I'm like, wow, that's kind of insane. And I kind of like am getting to the point where like I want to just like it to be dominant. You know what I mean?
If you guys were coming up in Classic Halo, do you think you'd make it pro?
I think we would, yeah. I know it's possible to play, like, I don't know, the way we like to play Halo is to just be max efficient. I mean, we value kills, obviously, but we just, like, try to get the kills we need, and I feel like having that idea in Classic Halos, like, I'm not sure how every Classic Halo works, but I'm sure, like, we could make it work. Not saying we could dominate as hard as we do now, but we could probably get at least one win. We'll make it work.
Have you ever been nervous in a 49-49 situation, or was it just pure adrenaline?
I feel like it depends. If it's pool play, game 2, that doesn't really matter. I don't get nervous. But if it's like, I don't know, let's say like a losers round 4, game 5, like if you lose that, you're out of the tournament. I wouldn't say I get nervous, but that gets definitely my heart like racing, bro.
With this momentum, the spotlight is on Bound and Legend. A question for you guys is, can they keep it up? Or will the rest of the scene finally catch up to them? But one thing is for sure right now, this is the duo to beat. Thank you to Broward for giving me this opportunity to actually make this video on his channel. My name is Ronin. You may have heard of me, may have not, but I appreciate everybody who has watched this video all the way through. And thank you guys so much for watching.